Lightspeed Spanish, podcast number 4 for absolute beginners, and this is giving and eliciting names and introducing other people. Hola Cintia, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien, Gordon. ¿Cómo estás?
Yo fantásticamente hoy.
Me alegro.
Vale, so we're talking about names now, Cynthia. How to give your name, yeah, and
Okay.
also how to ask somebody what the name is. So let's start with how do you give somebody your name? What do you say?
We say me llamo, and then your name.
Me llamo. Okay, and does that mean my name is?
No, it means literally. It
Mhm.
means I call myself.
Okay. Yeah, so the Spanish tend not to say my name is, they say I call myself, yeah?
Typically.
Me llamo, yeah. And I also hear that it sounds like a J, like you're saying me llamo.
For llamo, yeah, I
Yeah.
say llamo, llamo.
Yeah.
Some people in some areas of Spain they say llamo,
Yeah.
like softer.
Yeah.
Because I say llamo.
Okay. I've heard that sometimes in Latin America here it's quite soft as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in Peninsular Spain, particularly in the middle of Spain, it's quite strong, isn't it?
It's like in the word urgent, that j
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Urgent.
Or
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have me llamo, yeah? And then how do you say, what is your name?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? Okay, and what does that translate as?
How do you call yourself?
Okay, so ¿cómo is how? How do you call yourself? Yeah. ¿Cómo te llamas? Very good. You know, if somebody asks you what your name is and you say, well, my name is such and such, or I call myself, what's the typical thing to say in Spain after that?
¿Y tú?
Ah, y tú. And we heard that already when we were doing the basic greetings about how are you, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Y tú. So it's a good one to use. Okay, so we have what's your name, or how do you call yourself? I call myself whatever. And you? And then what would you reply?
Either your name or me llamo, and then your name.
Ah, okay, so you just repeat the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
And then you can say mucho gusto.
Mm-hmm. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
And what does that mean?
Much pleasure.
Okay, well, sort of an English version would be it's a pleasure.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you, yeah?
Literally, much pleasure.
Much pleasure, yeah? And is there anything else that you can say, or do you just say mucho gusto?
You can say encantado or encantada. I would say, women would say encantada.
Okay,
Men would say encantado.
right. And encantado, encantada, means
Pleased to meet you. Or
pleased to meet you, or I suppose it comes from the word enchanted. The French say enchanté, and we say pleased to meet you. The Spanish say enchanted.
The long version is encantada de conocerte.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't say de conocerte
Mm-hmm.
anymore. So we
Okay.
just say encantada
Okay.
or encantado in your case.
All right. And so it's encantada because as a woman you're describing yourself. You're saying,
Mhm.
I'm enchanted.
Mm-hmm.
And a man's describing himself, that's why he says encantado. Sometimes I've had students ask, if I'm a man and I'm talking to a woman, do I have to say encantada?
No. No. You always say, in your case, Gordon, and men will always say encantado regardless of the person you're speaking with.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always say encantada regardless
Okay.
of the person in front of me.
So it's about you,
It's about
what
you.
gender you are.
Mhm.
Okay. Right. So should we give that a go?
And
Is
then to reply
Oh, yes.
to that, if you said to me mucho gusto, I could reply by saying mucho gusto again,
Mm-hmm.
or I could say igualmente.
Ah, igualmente. Now I know that all words that end with mente in Spanish, mente, are our what we call adverbs. The words that end with ly.
Mm-hmm.
So igualmente is kind of equally, isn't it?
Equally.
Equally. Okay, so somebody says mucho gusto or encantado, and the other person just replies the same or says igualmente. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That sounds quite straightforward. Should we have a go?
Come on then.
All right. So we'll start with the basic greeting. Perhaps it's morning as well. So, hola, buenos días.
Hola, buenos días.
¿Qué tal estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, fantásticamente. ¿Y cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Cintia. ¿Y tú?
Me llamo Gordon. Mucho gusto, Cynthia.
Igualmente.
So, that was nice. Okay, so we were shaking hands there. You probably can't see it on the camera, but the reason we were shaking hands is because we're wearing headphones. However, under any normal circumstance between a man and a woman greeting each other for the first time in Spain, what happens, Cynthia?
We tend to give 2 kisses on the cheek.
Ah, okay. So that's between what, a man
Man and woman.
and woman?
Woman and woman.
Right. And men?
Men usually shake hands.
Like
Shake
that.
hands.
Okay. Okay. I have seen some men exchanging kisses, but they were very, very close family.
Yeah, I'm just saying typically. Typically, they would shake hands, and
Yeah.
typically, man and woman woman would give 2 kisses on the cheeks.
Okay. And how do the kisses go when people greet each other? Which side you go to first?
Right, you have to go to the left. You move your
Okay.
face to the left,
Mm-hmm.
so you're kissing the right cheek of the person in front.
Okay. So for the camera, that would be.
So you go that way, kiss, this way, kiss.
Okay.
And the kiss is not a proper kiss. You're not actually kissing the cheek. You're kissing. You're more like turning your cheek.
Yeah.
How would you describe that? You're kissing the air, really.
Kissing the air. It's an air kiss, but the cheeks do tend to touch.
The cheeks touch, but you're not kissing the
Yeah.
person. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So and that's very, very typical when people meet for the first time. This is in a non-formal situation, kind of an informal situation. Obviously, in business, that's very different. You don't sort of launch yourself at somebody to kiss them. But obviously, for this podcast set, informal situations.
Yeah, for family and friends.
Yeah.
For business or people you want to keep distance, for example, you shake hands.
Okay. Now, what happens if you want to introduce someone to someone else?
Okay, so you need to use the words either este es, if you're introducing a man, excuse me, or esta es, if you're introducing a woman.
Okay, and este, what does that mean?
This, masculine,
An es
is.
is. So you're saying this is.
This is.
So if you were introducing me, because I'm, and this is the word this is masculine, you were introducing me, you would say
Este es Gordon.
this is Gordon. Este es Gordon. And if I was introducing you, I would say esta es Cynthia.
Exactamente.
Yeah. So you change that according to the gender of the person, either este or esta. Okay. So what about trying, and unless I've missed anything, why don't we try finding out each other's names and then introducing each other to our friends?
Okay, I'll introduce you to Chato.
Chato. Okay, and
To the
I've got Juan here. Okay. So, hola, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Cintia. ¿Y tú cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Gordon. Mucho gusto, Cynthia.
Igualmente.
Bueno, Juan, esta es Cynthia. Y Cynthia, este es Juan.
Hola Juan, encantada.
Muy bien.
Gordon, este es mi perro Chato. Chato, este es Gordon.
Mucho gusto, Chato.
Give him a kiss.
Now he's looking at me. Okay. Oh, so that's excellent. So So that's how you introduce your friends, yeah? And when you introduce, you go through the same procedure, mucho gusto, encantado, igualmente, yeah? Very good. Is there anything else that we've missed, or have we covered everything for that?
I think we've covered everything.
Excellent. So why don't we do one last little run through?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, right from the
I'll
beginning.
start this time.
Yeah.
Hola, buenos días.
Hola, buenos días.
¿Cómo estás?
Yo muy bien hoy. Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Fenomenal.
Me alegro.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Gordon. ¿Y tú?
Me llamo Cintia.
Encantado.
Igualmente.
Bueno, Cintia, este es mi amigo Juan.
Hola, Juan.
Y Juan, esta es Cintia.
Encantada. Gordon, esta es mi amiga Lucía. Lucía, este es Gordon.
Mucho gusto, Lucía. Muy bien. So that's it. So I hope that that's clear for you. If you can get this right, you'll sound like a Spanish person, which is the point, isn't it? Yeah? Yay, of course. Okay, entonces, hasta luego.
Adiós.